If your dog has been growing little fatty lumps and your vet said just to watch them, this presentation is for you. I'm Pennye Jones-Napier, a certified holistic pet health coach and founder of Wolf Nutrition. And today we're talking about lipomas, what they actually are, what your dog's body is communicating when it grows them, and most importantly, what you can do about it. This is going to be practical. You are going to walk away with a real protocol. So let's get into it. A lipoma is a benign fatty tumor. Benign means non-cancerous, that forms in the soft tissue directly under the skin. Physically, they feel soft. They move when you press them, and they grow slowly over months and years, not days or weeks. They're most common in middle-aged and senior dogs. Certain breeds are more prone to them, including Labradors, Dobermans, Weimaraners, and other large mixed breeds where they can show pretty frequently. Now, this is important. Not every lump that looks and feels like a lipoma is a lipoma. Mast cell tumors and liposarcomas can present almost identically from the outside. Some of these require urgent treatment. So before you do anything, before any supplement, any protocol, any watch and wait, please take your dog to the veterinarian and ask specifically for a fine needle aspiration. It's quick, it's low cost, and it tells you exactly what you're working with. Once you have a confirmed lipoma, what do you do next? Well, that's where we get to work. The most conventional approach to lipomas is to monitor. And if they grow too fast, bother your dog, or land in a difficult location like the armpit, then surgery is usually asked for. And I want to be clear, surgery absolutely has a place. We are not anti-veterinary medicine here. Sometimes surgical removal is exactly the right answer. But the holistic question, the one we don't hear often enough, is why is the body creating these in the first place? Because here's what we know clinically. Dogs who have lipomas removed without addressing the underlying cause often grow new ones. The body is still in the same state. Nothing has changed. So, the holistic approach says, let's change the terrain. Let's look at what's actually driving this. That's what this entire presentation is about. So what's actually happening in the body when it creates a lipoma? Think of it this way. Your dog's body is constantly trying to manage, process, and eliminate fats, toxins, metabolic waste. When it can't eliminate something efficiently, it doesn't leave it circulating. It walls it off. It stores it somewhere where it cannot cause immediate harm. A lipoma is essentially the body saying, I have more here than I know what to do with. The most common root causes I see: liver congestion. The liver is the fat-producing center of the body, and when it's overloaded, fat metabolism slows down. Lymphatic stagnation. When the lymphatic drainage system isn't moving properly, fatty deposits have nowhere to go. And chronic low-grade inflammation, which is almost always diet-driven, because of years of ultra-processed kibble, which creates an internal inflammatory environment. There's also toxic burden from pesticides, environmental chemicals, flea and tick preventives, long-term medications, and even vaccination protocols. And metabolic dysfunction, including subclinical hypothyroidism, which is significantly underdiagnosed in dogs. Notice, not a single one of these root causes gets fixed with surgery. They require us to change the internal environment. That's our work. Now I want to bring in the traditional Chinese veterinary medicine framework because it gives us a beautiful and very precise lens for understanding lipomas. In TCVM, they're associated with what's called spleen qi deficiency and Phlegm-Damp accumulation. The spleen in Chinese medicine isn't only the physical organ. It represents the body's entire ability to transform and transport. It takes what comes in and convert it into energy and move it where it needs to go. When spleen Qi is deficient, when that transformative capacity is weakened, fluids and fats don't get processed. They accumulate. They become what Chinese medicine calls phlegm and dampness. Physically, those accumulations often manifest as lumps, cysts, and fatty deposits. Signs that your dog may have spleen Qi deficiency could be low energy after meals, soft or loose stools, picky eating, tendency towards weight gain despite a normal diet, and sensitivity to cold. If several of these sound familiar, that's really important diagnostic information. The treatment principle in TCVM is to tonify the spleen, resolve phlegm, and move the lymph. Everything in our protocol flows from that. And that includes specific Chinese herbal formulas, which is exactly what we're going to talk about next. This is where traditional Chinese veterinary medicine gets very specific and very powerful. There are herbal formulas that have been used for centuries specifically to dissolve nodules, resolve fatty deposits, and drain the dampness and phlegm that allows lipomas to form in the first place. I want to walk you through the three main formulas that holistic vets reach for in lipoma cases. The first is Phlegm-Fat formula from Jingtang, Dr. Xi's Qi Institute. This is my first recommendation for most lipoma dogs. It's formulated specifically for Phlegm-Damp accumulation, exactly the pattern we just described. It drains damp, transforms phlegm, and works directly on the conditions that allow fatty deposits to form. Key herbs include banxia, banxia, fuling, yi, ren, kangzhu, and zeshi. Expect 3 to 6 months before you see meaningful change. The second formula is Max's formula, also Jingtang. This one is specifically for older or weaker dogs with established nodules and masses. Its principle is to soften hardness and support the body's natural ability to remove nodules. Key herbs include Jiakukaxia, Kukao, self-heal spike, which disperses clumps directly, and Muli, oyster shell, which softens hard masses. It works more slowly and gently than stasis breaker, making it safer for elderly and debilitated dogs. The third is stasis breaker, a stronger moving formula for blood stagnation. This one works faster, sometimes in 4 to 8 weeks, but it's stronger, so it's best for younger, more robust dogs with newer lipomas. Not the right choice for a fragile senior dog. Now, here's the critical thing that you need to know. All Jingtang formulas require veterinary authorization to purchase. This is not a barrier, it's a feature. You want a TCVM trained vet choosing the right formula for your dog's specific pattern. The wrong formula won't hurt your dog, but the right one will work dramatically better. Your pathway? Ask your integrative vet to authorize one of these formulas or work with a Qi Institute certified TCVM practitioner. We can help you find the right referral. Just reach out. One more thing you can do at home right now. Turmeric. Curcumin from Curcuma longa is a traditional moving herb that has drying properties and has shown real results in some lipoma cases. 1/4 teaspoon for small dogs, 1/2 teaspoon for medium, 1 teaspoon for large. Mix it directly into food with black pepper and a small amount of fat to improve the absorption. Give it 10 weeks before you assess results. Step 1 is always the diet. I cannot say this often enough. No supplement in the world outperforms what's in the bowl 3 times a day. The most impactful shift you can make is moving towards fresh whole food meals, or at minimum adding significant fresh food toppers to whatever your dog is currently eating. Real food changes the entire metabolic picture. Omega-3 fatty acids are non-negotiable in a lipoma protocol. Sardines, salmon, deep water fish oils, these reduce systemic inflammation and directly shift fat metabolism towards healthier processing. Both of the root causes we're targeting, all in one food. Lightly cooked cruciferous vegetables, such as broccoli, cauliflower, and Brussels sprouts. These support the liver's phase 2 detoxification pathways. Even a few tablespoons several times a week makes a measurable difference. And choosing warming, easily digestible proteins like chicken, turkey, or rabbit. In TCVM, these directly support spleen qi. Further, reduce the damp-forming foods: peas, lentils, white potato, corn, wheat, and dairy. These are the foods that keep the internal environment in a state that allows lipomas to develop. Step 2 is targeted supplementation. And there's a logic to this. We're not just throwing things at the wall. Each supplement in this protocol is addressing one or more of the root causes we identified. The product I reach for first in a lipoma case is Amber Naturalz Tumoxil Deep Skin Health. This is a proprietary herbal blend formulated specifically to support the body's fat metabolism, draw unwanted toxins and chemicals from under the skin, and support soft tissue health and waste elimination. Pair it with their kidney rejuvenator to make sure the drainage pathways are fully open on the back end. And omega-3 fatty acids. We have a variety of omega-3 oils at the Big Bad Wolf, and not all are fish-based. They are anti-inflammatory and directly supportive of fat metabolism. Use those daily on food. Then there's digestive enzymes with lipase. Lipase is the enzyme that breaks down dietary fat. When fat isn't being processed efficiently, it accumulates. Giving lipase with every meal helps address that at the source. And a mushroom blend, specifically reishi and turkey tail, for immune modulation and lymphatic support. Real Mushrooms is the brand I trust for quality. For liver support, milk thistle is the classic or adored beast liver tonic for a more comprehensive herbal formula that also supports kidney and gallbladder function. One important note is to introduce these one at a time, a few days between each new supplement. That way you know what your dog is tolerating and you know what's working. Step 3 takes 60 seconds a day and costs almost nothing. Castor oil, organic, cold-pressed, applied directly over the lipoma once daily. Massage it in using small circular motions, always working towards the nearest lymph node. You're helping move stagnant lymph and soften the fibrous tissue that's around the deposit. Castor oil contains ricinoleic acid, which has unique penetrating and lymphatic stimulating properties. This is not folk medicine for its own sake. There's real mechanism here. Do this for 1 or 2 minutes once a day as part of your routine. Some people choose to do it during evening cuddle time. Make it easy and it'll happen. Optionally, you can add 1 or 2 drops of diluted frankincense essential oil in a carrier oil at a 1:30 ratio. Frankincense has been used anecdotally to reduce fatty deposits. I like it as an adjunct when clients are being thorough. I need to set clear expectations because this is where people sometimes give up too early. This is a 90-day minimum protocol, not 2 weeks, not a month. Holistic approaches work by changing the terrain, improving the liver function, lymphatic drainage, and metabolic health that created the conditions for lipomas to develop. That takes time. We didn't get here overnight, and we won't recover overnight. On day 1, take a clear photo of the lipoma. Write down its approximate size. Do the same at day 30, day 60, and day 90. Track not just the lump, but your dog's energy, coat quality, digestion, and weight. Because this protocol supports the whole dog, and you'll often see improvements there before you'll see changes in the lump itself. Some lipomas will reduce meaningfully. Others may stabilize, soften, stop growing, or become less defined. Both of these outcomes are genuine wins. They mean the terrain has shifted. I always recommend a vet recheck at 90 days. Get eyes on the lump, compare to baseline. Now, there are red flags, and this is when to see your vet immediately. Before we close, let me be very direct about when the holistic protocol is not the first call. when you go straight to your veterinarian. If the lump is growing rapidly, in weeks, not months, that's a red flag. If it feels hard, firm, or has irregular borders, rather than soft and freely movable, that's a red flag. Soft and movable is reassuring, hard and irregular is not. If your dog shows any pain or sensitivity when you touch it, if multiple new lumps are appearing at the same time, if the location is affecting the dog's movement, in the armpit, the groin, or between the muscle layers, that may be infiltrative lipomas, which are a completely different situation and often require surgical management. And if you have never had the lump evaluated at all, your first step is always your veterinarian, not a supplement run. These are the things I need you to remember from this entire presentation, if nothing else. So let's bring this together into your actual next steps. First, if you have a lump that's never been evaluated, that's your starting point. Vet visit, ask for fine needle aspiration. Second, start the dietary upgrade. Fresh food, omega-3s, reduce the starches and damp-forming foods. This is something you can do today. Third, if your dog has a strong TCVM Phlegm-Damp pattern, talk to your integrated vet about Xingtang Phlegm Fat formula. If the lipomas are older and more established, Max's formula is the conversation. Fourth, order Tumoxil from Amber Naturalz and pair it with Kidney Rejuvenator. These two working together form the herbal foundation of the Western supplement protocol. Fifth, begin adding the full supplement stack, one at a time, a few days apart. Digestive enzymes with lipase at every meal, mushroom blend, liver support. Sixth, castor oil on the lipoma every day, 1 or 2 minutes, 60 seconds of effort. Seventh, photograph and measure every 30 days. Give yourself 90 days minimum. And eighth, bring your questions to our community. Post in the Thrive Pack. That's our dog health forum inside the member circle. I read every post. And bring your specific case to our next live Q&A call. That's where we can really dig in. You showed up for this presentation because you're the kind of pet parent who takes your dog's health seriously. That matters. Your dog is lucky to have an advocate like you. I'm Pennye. Thank you for being here. I'll see you in the forum. If this presentation helped you, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel. It helps other pet parents find this content. The full written guide, supplement protocol, and downloadable handout are available inside the WOOF member circle at woofnutrition.com. Link is in the description below. And if you want to go deeper on any of this, customized protocols, one-on-one support for your specific dog, that's exactly what we do at WOOF Nutrition. Come find us.